Stands for smash! Stands for smash! Stands for... Wait, he's ready to smash? What the fuck am I doing then? Let's fucking go! Hello everyone, it's me, your boy, Ewan, back at it with another video game rant. If you couldn't tell, today's rant is going to be on Undertale, the famous game that's famous for a reason that's famous. Undertale is a game which follows your character, who is canonically called Frisk, but you can name them whatever the hell you want, the androgynous child that is often referred to as a female in the fandom. They adventure through a place called the Underground, home to monsters who are still there after a war with humanity. The unique thing about this RPG is the fact that you can go through the entire game without killing or damaging a single enemy. Even when the enemies beg for death, you can just be like, nope, fuck your wishes. Honestly, Undertale is a pretty solid game, especially considering that it was designed by a single person, Mr. Toby Fox himself. Another dude called Temi Chen helped a bit with character design, but that's pretty much it. The rest, so gameplay, story, music, battle mechanics, were all done by Toby Fox. Which is really fucking impressive, like, especially the soundtrack. This dude went and made over 100 songs by himself. Each of them are unique or build up to a later song, and, like, I get that they're only 30 seconds to a minute in length, but still, it's really impressive. Alright, let's start with music. Each piece is memorable, especially in a small game like Undertale. The boss and character themes are fucking fantastic, and I'd be able to sing them all right here, right now if I wanted to. That's how good they are. Even if some of them became massive memes, I'm looking at you, Megalovania, they're still well composed and fit into the context that they were designed for. Next is the gameplay mechanics. It's pretty simple, a top-down perspective while in the overworld, and a front-on perspective in battle where the player controls their soul to avoid incoming projectiles. Undertale uses the same standard 8-directional axis, front-down, left-right diagonals as other top-down RPGs, although it is a bit easier to get stuck on objects. It's just a small detail, and it didn't happen too frequently, so, whatever. Talking to characters was simple, and you could skip through the dialogue pretty quickly by spamming X and Z. Although that did mean sometimes that I'd talk to them again. It was not fun. Then there's also the different routes that can be completed, which does bring a lot of replay value to the game. I'll get into more detail of those later, don't worry. The lore of the great world of Undertale is kinda convoluted and confusing, so I won't get too much into it for this video. If people do want a video explaining it, let me know and I'll see what I can do. Overall, I give this game a solid 8 out of 10. As I said, it's a solid game, but it could be made into something so much bigger, although I'm not sure if Toby Fox will ever intend for it to be a large game/franchise. While there's a lot of replayability, as I stated earlier, it can get old after doing each route a couple of times. The simple but unforgettable art style and characters blend in nicely with the atmospheric music to create a nice mixture that is pleasing to the consumer. What am I, a fucking chef? Oh, on with the review. As you know, there'll be spoilers for the story up ahead. So, if you want to experience the game for yourself, buy it off Steam for like $10 or however much it is, and play that shit. It's pretty small, only about 400 megabytes, and not a very hardware-intensive game, so even shitty MacBooks can run it with no problem. The game starts with the main character, who we're going to call Frisk for the sake of simplicity, falling into the underground where they meet a weed. Some quality marijuana that calls itself Flowey. Flowey the happy dancing flower is also a homicidal dickhead who has no issues with killing a young child. But along comes Deus Ex Machina, otherwise known as Toriel, otherwise known as Goat Mum, who tells Flowey to fuck off via a fireball to the face. After that, good old Goat Mum takes Frisks to the ruins where the player gets to decide what type of run they want to do. There are 3 options: Pacifist, Neutral, or Genocide. Pacifist is, as the name says, a run with no killing. Neutral is where the player kills some monsters, but not all of them, they get to decide. And Genocide is where the player kills a set amount of monsters in each area before challenging the boss and moving on. We'll start with Neutral as that is what opens up into more routes later on. The player traverses the ruins, with Goatmum periodically calling Frisk to make sure they're okay and see if they want a butterscotch and a cinnamon pie, which is also the best healing item in the game, until they get to Toriel's house. After some dialogue and a game attack, there's a fight, which is really just Goatmum being a paranoid bitch, where you can choose to spare Toriel or kill her. Whatever you want. After that bullshit, you get to meet everyone's favorite pun master, Sans! And also the annoying younger brother, Papyrus, who wants to kill humans but has no idea that Frisk is a human. Yeah, it's odd. Get over it. Frisk then has the hazardous task of making their way through traps and puzzles before getting in an intense battle against Pappy. It's actually a joke. Seriously, if you die in this battle, you're actually just fucking brain dead. You then get to make your way through the wonderful place called Waterfall, where the music is actually really fucking annoying to listen to for long periods of time. Especially when you're trying to backtrack through the area to do shit, the music just gets old really fucking quickly. Although in this area there is the infamous Tammy Village, which is the only place in the game where you can sell items, and where you can get the best armor in the game, for only the small price of about 15,000 gold all up. How the fuck is that possible? By spending over an hour selling dog residue, that's how. At the end, you need to battle a fish chick who really, and I mean really, wants to kill Frisk. As in, you get attacked multiple times throughout this area by her. Her name is Undine, lover of pasta and dinosaurs. After an epic or not so epic battle, you can go to the Hotlands, which is also really fucking annoying to get through. Initially, you get introduced to two new characters. Alphios? Alphys, a dino girl with extreme anxiety and a fish fetish, and Metaton, a psycho killer robot who wants to kill Frisk. But they're also a TV show host slash presenter slash whatever the fuck they are, so they try to kill you with lights, cameras, and action! And copious amounts of explosives. But all part of the course. Gee, how the fuck is Frisk not crawled up in a ball traumatized at this point? They're just standing there all, whatever, while fighting for their life. Whatever. The Hotlands is a pain. It's a long-ass path that never fucking ends and is filled with a few mini-bosses and enemies. Although you do get the frying pan, which increases the amount of health you regain from healing items, so that's like kinda good. After Hotlands is the core. This place is also extremely annoying with how maze-like it is, but at least it is shorter than the Hotlands. At the end of the core, you get to fight Metaton, who transforms into their final form with... Holy shit, them legs! Look at those fucking things! The perfect shape, the smooth curvature, the shiny finish, look at the way... Oh, Metaton's dead. Alright, let's go. Once you make your way through the final area of the game, the castle, you get to verse Goat Dad! It's actually kinda sad. You're forced to fight this dude who really only wants to let you live, but sadly he's obliged to fight you because of his duty to his people as the ruler of the underground. This is the one time when no matter what run you're doing, you need to damage someone. So if you've done a neutral run, congratulations! This will be much easier for you. If you've done a pacifist, have fun! Once you've defeated Goat Dad, you can either kill him or spare him. Either way, it doesn't fucking matter, because Flowey comes along and kills Goat Dad or absorbs his soul and the souls of previous humans that have fallen into the underground, causing your game to crash. Yeah, the first time this happened, I got really, really confused. Like, I actually googled it to see what was wrong, and everyone's just like, oh yeah, it's fine, it's part of the game. Once you reboot it, weird shit happens, and the whole title sequence is fucked. When you load the save and walk up, you get treated to some exposition by Flowey, who then reveals himself to be Photoshop Flowey. I'm sorry, but can I ask, what the fuck is this? What's up with the fucking vines? The fucking weird ass TV screen? The fucking nukes? What is this? This battle is dumb and hard. I don't like it and it doesn't like me. Thankfully, you don't need to do it all in one life as the battle has checkpoints, but it's still extremely annoying. After defeating Flowey, you can either kill him or spare him. Killing him yields nothing but the satisfaction of killing a fucking plant, while sparing him means that he will occasionally give you advice in the next playthrough. Ta-da! You have completed the neutral route. As your reward, you have just unlocked... True Pacifist! Yeah, this is considered to be the true ending to Undertale, which we'll get to in a second. Honestly, there really isn't a point to doing the regular Pacifist route, as you need to do a neutral route to unlock True Pacifist, which is the exact same as Pacifist, but with a better ending. Alright. Now, onto True Pacifist. Everything flows the same story-wise, except now that you've completed it, people still sorta, kinda retain their memory of Frisk from the previous run. The difference comes after defeating Metaton. Remember, you cannot kill any monster or this will not work. There are a few things you need to do before you can begin the ending to True Pacifist. First, you need to complete your date with Papyrus. Second, you must grab the cup of water from the cooler at the entrance to the Hotlands and pour it on Undyne's head after she passes out from chasing Frisk. Third, complete the hangout with Undyne back at her place. If all this fucking shit is done, it'll allow for the beginning of the route. If you do a bunch of backtracking, you can get to Papyrus's house where Undyne is standing. She asks you to deliver a letter to Alphys because she's too much of a pussy to do it herself. When you give the letter to the nerdy dino that is Alphys, she takes you with her for a mock date to prepare herself for a certain bluefish with legs. Shit happens, and they both reveal their feelings for each other, so the two fuck off to go make out. After which Alphys has a sudden guilt trip and fucks off down the elevator in her lab. So, naturally, you follow. Because why the fuck not, am I right? You need to navigate the true lab in order to find 4 keys, which unlock the elevator. This place is fucking creepy. Seriously, just thinking about it while writing this is giving me a chill down my spine. I hate it there, and I never want to do it again. Fuck that place and all the goddamn amalgamations of monsters. Once you do get to the end though, Alfie shows up with a quick, "Hey, how are ya?" before fucking off back to the surface. So you leave too because fuck the true lab and everything related to it. I fucking hate it. You can't make me go back there. There's absolutely nothing in this world that would convince me to do that shit again. Anyway, you get to Asgore as per usual with some monsters giving some backstory on the royal family, but I'll get to that in another video if people want it, and proceed to engage him in friendly conversation, with Goat Mum rudely interrupting with a fireball to the face. Everyone shows up because why the fuck not? Only for Flowey to show up and stab them all with his big ass fuck off vines. Flowey the fuckboy absorbs their souls and the power of the souls from the humans who had previously dropped into the underground, and turns back into his normal form of Azrael Dreamer, son of Goat Mum and Goat Dad, and adopted brother to Kara the Demon Child. Now, the final battle commences. It's pretty cool. Like, seriously, this is a really impressive final battle and incredibly well done. It is similar to the fight against Photoshop Flowey in the fact that Azrael uses a lot of area of effect attacks, and you need to balance healing with attacking or else the fight won't progress. The second stage is a bit less impressive though. You need to save the souls of each of your friends before eventually saving Azrael himself. It's still decent, but not as strong as the beginning of the battle, especially considering that this second part is an absolute cakewalk. After Azrael realizes what a douche he's been, he releases the souls of the humans and the monsters, calls himself a monster, before Frisk gives him a hug for being such a dum-dum. He then fucks off. Frisk wakes up in the throne room where everyone's like, "Hey, the barrier's been broken, let's fuck off to the human world." And they all live happily ever after. You do get to choose whether to stay with the monsters or fuck off and leave them, but it only changes the end screen. Oh, holy shit, how much have I gotten so far? 2,300 words? What the fuck? There's still one more route to go. Fuck me. Okay, speedrun time. Genocide is different in the fact that you kill literally every monster in the underground, starting with in the ruins. If done correctly, encounters will occur with a text field saying, "but nobody came," before ominous music starts playing. Fun fact, this music is actually taken from Flowey's theme, but it's a part slowed down to 1/13th of the speed with reverb added in. If you've done this correctly, when you reach Goat Mum, attacking her once will instantly kill her, bringing her to the realization that by stopping you from leaving the ruins, she was protecting the other monsters from harm, not you. If for some inane reason you decide to spare her after all that, the run is reset to neutron and cannot be changed back. So, after that you move on to the next area with good old Sans and Pappy, who both notice that you don't act like a human. When you go to save from this point on, it'll come up with red text stating how many more monsters you need to kill. Once that counter hits 0, it simply says determination. When you finally get to Papyrus, he goes down in one hit too, but steadfastly believes in the fact that you can become a better person. Waterfall is a pain now, especially because you need to defeat 18 monsters. Now, it might not seem like much, but considering the encounter rate has dropped to about half of what it usually is, it takes a while to do this. At the end, you face Undyne, who also goes down in one hit, but with the power of friendship, she pulls through and activates her final form, Undyne the Undying. This fight is actually kind of challenging and really fun, but if you can remember her attacks and or have fast reaction times, it's kind of easy. Once Undyne is dead, you can move on to the Hotlands and the core. The monster count here is 40, which is fucking bullshit. This part alone takes well over an hour, and that's if you're lucky. The chance for a fucking encounter is so low that I ended up walking in goddamn circles for over 5 minutes before I found a fucking enemy. Once you finally get through all of that bullshit, you get to fight Neo Metaton, which is Metaton but more meta, who also goes down in one hit. Then, you have to fight the final enemy in the game. The bane of every single one of my genocide runs. Sans the motherfucking dick-munching, choking skeleton. This fight is fucking amazing and fucking insufferable at the same time. The only way to progress in the battle is by attacking Sans. If he hits you, you don't receive an invulnerability period and a fraction amount of damage, but instead your health is constantly drained while you're in his attack, with a residue poison effect left behind. His attacks are relatively easy to memorize though, so if you can memorize them, you can cheese your way through to the halfway point. That halfway point though. Whew, boy, that is intense. When it hits halfway, Sand stops to give you the chance to spare him. If you do, he dunks you hard. If not, heal up Sonny Jim, cause we're in for a rocky ride. He spams a couple of quick rapid attacks at you that shift patterns quickly, and after that, there are now bones that move over your buttons in the menu, so you have to continuously move between them to avoid being hit. Thankfully, they can't kill you, but they can still bring you down to 1 HP. If you do, through some fucking miracle, manage to get past his final attack and kill him, Sans drags himself off screen, talking to a hallucination of Papyrus before he disappears, giving the player the final bit of XP to increase their level to 20. You then one-tap Asgore before moving on to Flowey, completely and utterly decimating him, after which the world pretty much collapses. You get to talk to the spirit of Kara, the first human who dropped into the underground, who was attracted to Frisk's soul by the violence they committed, and gave them the power to influence it further and further until Kara had complete control of Frisk by the end of it. This is the basic gist of the conversation. Hey, want to destroy the world? You said either yes or no. For yes? Cool. I look forward to working with your partner. For no? Well, too fucking bad. And Kara then proceeds to give me a fucking heart attack with the goddamn devil-licensed spastic movement. After all that shit, you load up the game again and wait for about 10 minutes. Kara then talks to you and gives you the chance to completely restart the world. If you say no, you have to restart the game and wait another 10 minutes. If yes, then the world gets reset and you need to do everything all over. However, there is a notable change to the true pacifist ending. If you stay with the monsters, then when Toriel leaves the room, Frisk sits up in bed a few seconds later and their eyes open to reveal them being controlled by Kara. If you split up, the photograph of all the monsters and Frisk is different. Each monster has a cross over their faces and the figure of Frisk is replaced with Kara instead. Doing all of these routes is incredibly time consuming. Hell, it took over 8 hours for me to complete a genocide run, 4 of which was spent solely on trying to beat Sans. 4 fucking hours! Look, it's a fun game, and there's a lot of enjoyment to be had from it. Especially considering that it's only about $10 or so. Damn, that's a lot of shit. I'm honestly impressed if you stayed around for the entire thing, and I thank you for that. There's quite a bit of backstory to Undertale, so if you want me to do a video explaining it, leave a comment down below and I'll do my best to accommodate. I hope you all enjoyed this, and as always, tell me what game you would like me to rant about next, and I'll see what I can do. Peace!